Hello everyone, this is Ale with the Expressive Arts Drop-In. Welcome. I am just going to ask folks to grab a piece of paper and a pencil, and that is all you need. We're going to just take a few minutes to prepare and get into the space. Let me know if you can hear me, because we have had some sound issues in the past. I'm going to sharpen my pencil to make sure that it is nice and sharp before we start. And if folks want to get tea or water and things to make themselves feel cozy and comfy, that would be great. There we go. We got a nice sharp pencil. And I have a bit more of tea. Alright, I'm just going to make sure that you all can hear me. I'm checking in. Okay. So we're just getting cozy. I'm playing some music. This is Luis Bonfa. He's from Brazil. He's an amazing guitar player I really like and I find very relaxing. So we're just getting ourselves comfy and cozy and relaxed. Grab some water. Just getting ourselves cozy. Yes, we've had some good. Okay, so sound is all right. It is working. We've had some issues the past couple of weeks. I've tried several different devices and now sound is good, so I'm very excited about that, very happy. So I've asked folks to grab a piece of paper and a pen or pencil, but first we are going to start as we have in the past, and that's with a poem. I like to read some poetry to get my imagination working and going and into that imaginal space. So the poem I've chosen for today is called Why Bother? Okay, it's called Why Bother Creating? Life does not make art possible. Art makes life possible. The artist and the alchemist are the same. They are masters who use every experience as an opportunity to create change. They make art that captures the feelings we cannot put into words. Art that is made honestly allows a misunderstood heart to feel heard. Okay, so I chose this poem because I've been thinking a lot this week about art and creating and what gets us into that mood. For me, music is something that I started studying at a very, very early age. It's something that people said I have a talent in, something that I've felt very good in. But at the same time, music has been something that has been very challenging for me, something that I've had a lot of hang-ups around. So that's a question I have for you all watching. Do you have an art form that you have been told you have talent, do you feel like you have talent, but at the same time you also have some hang-ups around and it's a struggle to get yourself creating? I'm very curious about this and I'm hoping that we can work with this moving forward with our Expressive Arts Drop-In. And we can try new things, but for now we are going to do our intuitive drawing. So all you need is a pencil and a piece of paper, and we're just going to draw shapes on the page non-judgmentally without anything in mind. We don't need to know what we're going to do. We're just drawing for the sake of drawing. So I'm just kind of following the flow of where I am and just drawing shapes on the page, just some lines. Maybe they connect, maybe they don't. That is okay. Lines around the page. We're not looking for a specific product. It's not going to, it doesn't need to be anything specifically. But we're going to try to be authentic in our creating, like that poem said. As it said in the end, creating authentically allows your heart, or a misunderstood heart, to feel heard. I can definitely relate to that. Have you ever felt like, something, you had an experience in life and you try to share it with someone and it just didn't land? They were just totally missing it, or they just put their own perspective on it and you're like, yo, that wasn't what this was about. Well, that's the good thing about art, is that you can take that space and create for yourself. There's something about creating authentically that can allow you to feel totally seen and witnessed. At least that's been my experience. That was specifically when I was doing expressive arts therapy as a client. It was a wonderful experience, being seen in my creating. Here we go. This is what I have so far. Just nice big open shapes. Again, we are not judging what we are creating. I've said in the past, we were trying to imagine that this is what you create, or what comes from it is a guest, a dinner guest at your house. And you're not going to say to your dinner guest oh, your shoes are horrible, or whatever it is. We're going to just accept them for who they are, for the most part. At least that's what I try to do with my guests. So we're going to do the same thing with the image that comes. Is these are guests that are coming into our lives. They may have something to share with us, and we're going to be open to it. Okay. And in the comments below, I'm really curious, do folks have an art form that they feel specifically drawn to, or they have mixed feelings about, you have hang-ups about? Maybe you were very well known in growing up for doing, and people think you're amazing at it, but you have struggles with yourself internally around the art form. And I'm curious about this because I would like to work around it. How do we create and let go of these judgments? So if you have anything down below, I'd love to know in the comments. And we're just going to keep on working on this. I might flip it around a little bit, see if we see anything different. You may want to notice what you're feeling, what you see. Like I said, we're trying to not judge it and imagine it as a guest coming into our home. We're not going to say, you there, you're ugly. No, you're going to welcome it in. So we're going to do the same thing with this piece that we're working on. But at the same time, we can still notice how we feel. You may invite someone and they say something that really challenges you. Let's notice that. So if you are noticing some maybe negative thoughts or things around your image, notice it, and we're gonna work with that in a little bit. So maybe let's take one last moment. I'm going to flip it around again, see if there's anything I want to add to it. You can see kind of my image from the Instagram live. We go live on Instagram at 11 o'clock and then Facebook at 11:45. So, kind of curious. Let's see how they look and compared the two right now. They're pretty similar. A bit different. There you go. Shade in. Okay, I think that I'm feeling pretty complete for now with this image. So now we're going to, on the other side of the page, we're going to write, just notice what we notice of our image. This is the time where if you did notice any feelings that were coming up, we're going to write it on this page. Anything you want, but really try to just be with what you see, what's on the surface of the page. Turn on the music a little bit. Okay, if you've just joined us, we were just intuitively drawing shapes on a page, and you feel free to start at any time. And now we are taking time to just write what we notice, non-judgmentally. Maybe we're also writing what feelings came up for us. And we're listening to Luis Bonfa, a Brazilian guitar player. Okay, so just quickly jotting down some words and feelings that we might have felt around our image. And now we are going to write a quick poem. So no stress, this doesn't have to be like a published work of poetry. It can be if you want, but we're just going to follow our gut and just write strings of words, or however you want to look at it, together and see if we can come up with a poem for this image.
This is the story of a Brazilian in New York. The street.
Okay, all right. So this song is telling us a little story. It's kind of nice. Okay, so this poem that I've come up with so far, I'll read you just the words that I wrote down that we're just noticing the image. Long triangles, holding it down, circles, all right, triangle mountains, on the side, almost full, lines, circles. And then my poem that is somewhat based on the words that I wrote is this. I am almost full, trying to live day by day, almost full. Circles around my life, I'll climb up triangle mountains, up and down, up and down. Yeah, so I think this is, I'm going to call it Up and Down, because I think for me this week was a bit of a challenge. I had a very peak day where I woke up and I said, there's not enough hours in the day. And I woke up and I cleaned my office and I worked out and I went for a walk and I practiced scales on my guitar and like I just did all these things. It was very exciting. And then the next day was a bit of a crash, kind of a lower energy day. And so I'm thinking a lot about that, thinking about being with myself in all the peaks and valleys. And, you know, self-care isn't, it can be about lists, but you know, I think it's about being with yourself moment by moment. And I've been asking myself, what's the most loving thing I could do for myself in the moment? And sometimes that looks like grabbing a tea. Sometimes that looks like taking a few extra breaths. Sometimes that looks like waking up early and cleaning my office. Sometimes that looks like paying my bills. You know, like self-care looks like a lot of different things. So I'm just thinking about that a lot. So I think that's what that poem is about. And for other things, I got some messages. Was this? Okay. I'm hoping y'all can see me. We've had some technical issues, but I think we've worked them out. Maybe move myself a little bit like this. Okay, so we for those who are just coming in, we intuitively were just drawing some shapes on a page, non-judgmentally, and then we wrote some words that we noticed about it, and then we wrote a bit of a poem and a title. So now I think that we have a bit of time. I usually sing a song, but I'm going to respond to this image with my guitar, because this is something that I'm thinking about a lot these days, is an art form that you may have felt very connected to or told in your life that you were very good at. Maybe you're a very good writer or dancer, and you felt amazing at it, and then things changed, or you felt pressure then, and it's now hard to move into that art form, or there's challenges or hang-ups that you have. So this is what I'm thinking about. It's something that I go through a lot with music. But this week I've kind of had a shift, and I've thought of it. I've noticed that how I was approaching it was that, you know, I want to be a master at this instrument, and I think that kind of sets myself up for success. For failure, if I'm not anything less than amazing. So I've been kind of thinking of it as like, okay, let's just practice guitar once a day. I've been playing one scale in different forms and different ways a day, and that's been setting me up for playing more. Like I just play the scale, and then I just want to keep playing, so it's kind of nice. But instead of saying like, oh, I have to practice for an hour, I'm just saying I'm going to practice the scale for 5 minutes. So let me know in the comments below if you have an art form that you have a feeling like that, where you have some talent, or people have told you that you are talented in this thing, but you struggle to get into the art form because of this pressure. So let me know. And I'm going to just look at the image, and I'm going to see what comes. I might just start with like a scale in chord form, and then we'll see what we can come up with as a response. And if you're at home, you can do this similar thing. You could respond to what I'm playing, or you can kind of look around you, see what kind of things you can make sounds with. I'm all about making music with things that they don't need to be an instrument per se, but things can make pretty nice sounds, and you can make rhythms and things like that with. So the challenge is to look at your image and kind of respond in a way that feels authentic to this image. So I'm going to try to do that and show you what that looks like for me in my image here. Circles around my life, and I'm trying to climb up triangle mountains, up and down and up and down. I'm almost full. So that is my response to my image. Well, I started with shapes on the guitar that felt like long triangles that I could see here. So long triangles on the guitar. And then I came to a little progression that I thought would be nice to put some of these. I basically just sang the poem there, and that was my response. If folks, I'm very curious to see what folks are doing at home. So if you're interested in sharing and posting a picture of what your image is, or a poem that you came up with, anything at all, that would be great. I would love to see it. And we just have a few moments, so I'm going to play you a song. This is a song that I wrote when I moved from Chicago, Illinois. Sorry, the other way around. I moved from Madison, Wisconsin to Chicago. I used to live in Chicago as a young child, and then I moved back for college, so I was just noticing what it felt like to basically be in a new city alone. My friends were all far away from me, and so I was thinking about, but before I moved, I was very excited about moving. I was like, oh yeah, I want to be in a big city and that kind of stuff. And then what I noticed was I was missing Madison, missing where I used to be. So I'm going to play you that song. And thanks for joining me today. Be thank you so much for joining me today. Thanks for joining me and listening to that. It's an older song that I wrote a few years ago. I'm starting to think of my songs again. There's been times where it was really hard to play songs, or I didn't want to play. I was judging myself. I said, oh, I've played this song a million times. I don't want to do this. But now I'm looking at them, I'm thinking of them as friends. These were, if that makes sense, but the song was like a friend that came to me and came to help me in my life, and it's still a friend that I can pick up and listen to again. So folks, in the comments below, I would love to know if you have an art form that you want to get into but has been a struggle to get into because of this or that, or you have hang-ups from the past, or maybe it's something that you've always wanted to sing and someone shut you down very quickly when you thought you couldn't sing. Let me know. I'd love to know, and we can work with this the next time we do an Expressive Arts Live. So I go live on Fridays at 11 a.m. on the Instagram account, which is Kawartha_SAC. And then we go live on Facebook at 11:45 on Fridays. And thank you so much for joining me. Yes, thank you so much for commenting. I feel you. It is a struggle. I move up and down with the judgments for myself as well, so I get that. I went to Expressive Arts Therapy School basically for that, to help myself heal from the harsh judgments that I started to feel after music school. So music school started to put in my head that I needed to have a specific kind of product and it needed to look like this. At least that's what I told myself. And I wanted it to be ingenious, and like the chords had to be amazing. And that was just setting myself up for failure. So I went to Expressive Arts School, and what really helped me was thinking about the process of creating and authentically creating for myself. So that is a challenge for folks who are watching out there. If that is something you're struggling with, harsh judgments, how can we, let's start just creating for the process and not necessarily the product. Also, the looking at your image, whatever comes up, and I say image, that can be an image in music, that can be an image in your dance, whatever comes to you, separating it from yourself is something that's helped me along my journey as well, is that instead of thinking it's me, because I could easily judge myself harshly, I try to think of it as a friend that's come over for dinner. I'm not going to tell them, yo, your sweater is super ugly, or say something like that to them. I'm going to just accept them as they are. So that is my 2 cents around that. Let's try to just welcome in, and like I said with my song, I was judging my songs harshly too, but now I like to think of them as friends. So if we can try that as a practice for ourselves, I think that is a way to start, and we can work with this more in our next drop-in. So I hope to see you all there. Thanks for coming. Thanks for your comments, and I'll see you next week. See you next time.